as we were ready for air. It was the Colts emerging from the locker room to great fanfare here in Indy. They're ready to go as the Colts get set to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. First carry now for the former Badger, Jonathan Taylor. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
He's going to air one out. And got his man complete. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Darius Slayton, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Colts on just 2 plays have taken the lead. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long. Go get it, big man.
Yeah, the final tally, as told by Next Gen Stats, he hit 21.5 miles per hour. Whoa. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. First carry for the Clemson man, Travis Etienne. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Throwing on first down, Bolden. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible. So I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the flow. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. The 6-2 is their record through the first 8 weeks. Now, Charles, what is your assessment for them in the second half of the season?
Well, I think that the road gets a little bit tougher for them. And when I look at their schedule, I see some of these road games, and I know those are going to be difficult. But this is a good team, so I'm going to go with 11-5. That seems about right, and I think that'd be a nice accomplishment, too.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. On the handoff, Taylor. And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3. Well, this defense for the Jaguars, they were very strong in the win last week over the Giants.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run. And they'll use him out in the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago, there's another one right there.
On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down. This, the second meeting of these two teams. You might recall they met back in week 5. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. On play action, they'll throw. Flushed out right. He's going to fire one, corner of the end zone. And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball. He could not hang on. 2nd down coming up. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. Going right side, he finds Slayton. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the 1st down. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. They'll look to throw again. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the 1st. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the 1st down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Taylor. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
some of the most unselfish players on any football team? Defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
He'll have a first down inside the 10. And finally taken down at the 4-yard line. So another third down conversion, and now they've got a first and goal. They'll run here with Taylor. And he takes it in for a Colts score. Jonathan Taylor, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Colts lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And it's now 14-0. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Now Jamal Agnew from his end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they are trying to create some separation within the division. And look, CD, I know that this is still the first half of the season, but this is a big matchup no matter where it falls, because these are the top 2 teams right now in that division.
And if you can build a bit of a cushion as you head towards the second part of the season, that allows you to survive the expected injuries, potential upset losses, all of those things, and still be in good shape.
On second down, a run with Etienne. Oh, good move. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll be taken down, but first he gets deep into Indianapolis territory. A big connection on that one. 45 yards. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. On first and 10, Bolden. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands, because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
That might be the third down stop that they needed, because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
It's a 40-yard punt, but they lose yardage on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got...
And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Quiddy Pay in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Well, when you're down a couple of scores like this, CD, you can't afford too many plays that go in the wrong direction like that one.
Yeah, when you take a good look at it broadly, sacks are better than giving up an interception. But where they are on the scoreboard, they've got to get rid of all of that and just create positive plays for themselves in order to have a chance. That was not a real confident throw right there, and he's just 2 of 7 to start the game. Now he's going to have to find a groove with a big third down coming up. Let's see if his confidence can increase.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
2 things you can do in that situation: run and punt the football, or try and take your shot at getting the first down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. This is fielded at the 27. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
2nd and 13. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Hightower not going to attempt a run back, and his guys will begin at the 25. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them. They did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. That ball caught by Slayton. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. But that last throw right there putting him already over 3,000 passing yards now for the campaign.
And given where we are in the season, Brandon, you have to think to yourself, if he stays healthy, I think 4,000's a given. I think 5,000 is not out of the question if he stays hot.
And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw here. Flush, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. The Colts on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. They're going to look to throw. Going for the deep ball. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished.
And that is absolutely demoralizing for a defense because you've got the offense on the ropes. It's 3rd down. You're trying to get off the field, and then wham, you have a letdown in the secondary, and you give up a big one.
And you can see in the next-gen stats, that one 62 yards in the air. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good, and it's now 21-7. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25.
25-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. A shotgun snap, and again to ETN. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
On 2nd down, ETN once more. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
The throw for Tony is intercepted. Picked up by Julian Blackman. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. And that now 2 interceptions thrown in the 2nd quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first one. And they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception. Tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit, and instead created a second one.
Now a throw here to his running back. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. On the handoff, this is Taylor. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Wide open receiver complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He finds his man complete. It's Morales. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a 2nd and long after the holding call.
44's the mic. 44's the mic. Check, check. You ain't doing nothing, done. You ain't doing.
Now a handoff. Taylor with it. Runs over it. And he gets it down to the 32. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. They give to Taylor out of the gun. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. Now a timeout coming here defensively, as on 4th down, may as well make him punt it. Rodrigo Blankenship for the Colts field goal. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. Blankenship's kick is good. And they will open things up a bit more. It's 24-7. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They force the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. 1 second, all that remains. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports. Jamal Agnew now to return it. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Looking to throw. Bolden being chased out left. And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's 2nd down. These two teams, they met earlier in the year in Jacksonville with the Jags coming out on top. So if they can find a way to win here in Indianapolis, they would take the season series 2-0. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Quiddy Pay. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They'll rifle this one deep right side. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Now, look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in a cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Running out of the gun with ETN. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 49 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
To throw on 2nd down, Bolden. He'll drop this one off with ETN. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, as the defense rallies quickly after the nice move. Just a gain of a couple there, and that'll make it 3rd down. Back to throw, Bolden. Able to complete this to Chenault. And he will have a Jaguars first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But with the score where it is, you're not thinking field goals right now. You need touchdowns. So that was a much-needed conversion there on 3rd down.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Buying time to his left. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 12. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the 2nd half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Here's Taylor. Oh, he bowls over him. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll set up to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A big play that time through the air. 34 yards.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
And they'll try the jet sweep here. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Running left, Taylor. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Colts add on to their lead. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And the lead is now 24. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's a give to Etienne. A first down and more, Etienne. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. 79 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Pretty explosive run on that inside handoff, and when you're a runner of his caliber, you don't need a big crease.
You really don't, but also what we're seeing is an offensive line that's taking charge at the point of attack, aren't we? Not only they're controlling the initial contact.
He's got a man, complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A big connection on that one. 36 yards.
This defense is definitely reeling a little bit now. Back-to-back big plays given up. And you know that's all defenses talk about. How do you limit that? Instead, they got hit by a 1-2 punch those last couple of plays, and now they've got their backs to the goal line.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Off the play fake, Bolden. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. Back to throw again. Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Hightower not going to attempt a run back, and his guys will begin at the 25. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 105 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Looking to throw. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A big play there for Indy. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
And goal at the 2-yard line.
Here's Taylor again. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
At their own 26-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And that 5-game win streak is ticking away here in the 4th quarter. Just haven't been as sharp in this one. A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And this one is incomplete.
Similar to a shooter in basketball who just connected on the previous shot. They run another set for him on the next play. Now, we had a guy who made the catch. They tried to get the big one downfield, but came up empty.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
They'll try and set up the screen to ETN. And they'll bring him down right at midfield, and he is well short of the 1st down. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
4th down. 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 4
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Over the middle, he's got Chenault. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. They run again with Hines. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. The Colts send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. .33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now, if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want, but on the defensive side of the ball, you scramble a little bit.
And it looked like he got the feet down, did he? Yes, it's a catch. A big play that time through the air. 33 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun. Bolden letting one go deep for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Jaguars have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will be cut down to 14.
Jaguars 20.
So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. So they touched it before it went 10, and that's obviously not going to help their comeback bid here in the 4th.
No, not at all, and they're trying to get something going after one there, but you've got to give yourself a chance. Let it go 10 before you touch it.
They run on 1st down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as it comes with 1:15 left to go in the second half. So third down, they need to get to the 28 for a first.
44's the mic. 44's the mic. Check, check.
The Colts in victory formation now as they take the knee. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So now here comes the field goal team for the third time today. This to make it a 3-score game late. And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it on line, but it comes up about a rotation short. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise. And that'll deny him a shot at 3.
Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. On first down, Bolden. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
But you have to expect in this situation that the defense is going to be playing the perimeter. They don't want any easy passes out there where someone can grab it and step out of bounds. So that was excellent work there to force the incompletion.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. Again, he'll drop to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Ooh, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
They'll try again here from the 7 on second and goal. They'll look to throw again. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Colts are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Colts in victory formation now as they take the knee.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So this one winds up in Indianapolis victory. And they've got to feel good about this performance. I think you'd agree, matched up against a top 5 defensive unit in the league, and they pretty much had their way.
Yeah, that was the interesting part about it, because normally when we see this defense play, they have their opportunities and they make their plays, don't they? They knock them back on their heels. They take the ball away. They change field position. In this case, what you said is so apt. They had their way with them, took it to them, and knocked them back on their heels and surprised the heck out of them.
So for Indianapolis, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, the loss will drop them to 6-2 now on the year. And they will be back home next week for a date with Washington.